Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be installing modified headlights on my E90 BMW. So there's a couple reasons I'm doing this. If you look inside this housing here, this upper eyebrow is yellowing and this is gray. The headlights I'm putting in have already been modified with a black housing. A few of you guys have commented that these kind of look out of place on a black car now because it's all just light gray. So my primary complaint is this: if you look at this housing, as you can see, the ring looks quite yellow because it has UV damage. This side actually looks clean still because it doesn't have any UV damage on there. In contrast, this looks pretty terrible. Very yellow, and it looks even worse against that gray background. So that's my primary motivation for doing this. Had the other side looked like this, I would have left things alone. So these headlights here have already been modified by another company. I bought it from someone that had the work done and got rid of their car. But as you can see, it's black inside. It's not gray, they've been painted. They have LED conversion rings, but one of them came off. And I believe one of them's burnt out. So I'm gonna put on new LED rings and reseal this light. But the main reason I wanted these is they've already been painted black. I bought the pair for under $200. They were missing bulbs and they had a few issues like that LED ring, etc. But it's fine for me for this video. As you can see, there's a couple ways to remove one of these lenses. You can either cut the lens here and then kind of use a screwdriver and pliers to pry away the pieces of the lens away from the housing to preserve the housing. Or you can cut the housing to save the lens and then re-glue it after. That's what they opted to do here. This is gonna make it way easier for me to remove the lens. Normally it's a big ordeal. You have to cut this and pry, and it'll take you a few hours per light, even potentially a couple hours per light. Or you can buy new lenses and cut the lens and then just pull the pieces of the lens away from the housing. But either way, since I have these and they were cheap, it's gonna save me a lot of time, and it'll still give you guys an idea of what's involved in tearing open one of these headlights. If you have one of these headlights and you want to paint it black inside, you might as well do the LED conversion rings at the same time. These lenses were really clean, but they had a bunch of pitting, like rock marks on it, so I used 2000 grit wet sandpaper and got rid of those off camera. And I used this headlight restoration kit to UV coat the lenses. I just used this, the headlight coating itself, to replenish the OEM UV coating that these headlights normally come with. Highly recommended if you guys have a car, even with clean lenses, you just want to preserve them. I'll put a link in the description. This piece right now is barely yellowing, but my intention is to coat this in UV spray as well so that it won't yellow in the future. But now that these have already been modified as they are, it's gonna make taking these apart a piece of cake. I'm gonna remove this glue, I'll time lapse it, and then we'll come back when I'm ready to pry the lens off. So those are all the screws. I don't know if I would need heat to start prying, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So I bought this in anticipation. This rivet removal tool is very good for getting in the lens. When you're doing this, you never want to touch this chrome. Even if you touch it lightly, it probably won't look normal again. This adhesive doesn't hold up, it seems. Maybe UV light damages it. So I'm just testing these rings. They seem to work fine. I'm not sure if I want to repurpose these. I bought a set already. But we'll compare the output and see which one looks better. Let's get into the back side of this. I already installed my own bulb in here. So there's the resistor, I guess. So I didn't really need to get in this area. I think I'll seal that back up. The chrome plating that BMW uses is not bad, actually. You can touch it without really ruining it, just in one touch. So it's gonna be this inner chrome here where you don't want to touch. That's the one where it's just barely on there, but that gets completely covered up by the lens, so no big deal there. Just be very careful, don't touch any of this. As you can see, that's completely hidden. Now we'll try to get rid of some of this glue off the lens. Using a T10 to take these out, the inner black piece. If you guys are modifying, this is where you'd paint this black in a matte finish. This doesn't really look that yellow to me, but maybe through the lens it really shows more. You can gauge it like that. It doesn't look that bad at all, but I'll still try making it a little better. We can try this cleaning solution, see how that works. You can kind of make out the yellowing just sitting on this table, but it's minor. Feels like it's doing something, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think that looks really good as is, and I don't have to spend too much time on this, but just for the heck of it, I'm going to try one thing. I learned this from those PC restoration channels. This is developer cream. Now you can see the contrast, the yellowing, compared to the cream. So that's how they're gonna look. Not bad. That's how it was, I'm sure, before I ever got it. They don't really stand out or look bad, really. I'm gonna go check on that eyebrow piece and then I'll come back. So that looks decent, but it's not 100%, and I'm not sure if I wanna just paint the silver or just kind of accept the way it looks. Looks like over here still needs some work. I can't tell if it's on the inside, but I'm just gonna try that cleaning solution again, right here, and see how good we can make it. I'll try the abrasive side now. I think I'm gonna call that good. Looks all right. I may end up painting this down the line and opening it back up just if it really bothers me, but for now, to me that looks very white. Looks like it may have got it done. That's a coat of UV protectant. This is how we'll be resealing the headlights. I'll include a link in the description. So I'm going to try putting this around the headlight, like so. See if we can hold on, and then we can stick it back on. And I'll put a link for this in the description again, if you guys are following along. Assuming you cut your original glue and you follow this method and you want to reseal, this stuff works. Heat will definitely help, but it's a lot cleaner to work with it this way, if it will work for you. So that's why I'm going to try it room temp for now. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I'll just try it. Now it's time to remove the bumper so that we can install the new headlights. That looks sharp. It's a bluish purple by comparison. Yellow, and it really reflects off that light gray. Does not look good in comparison. So as you can see, it's definitely worth it to go from that to that. I see that light is cocked all the way over to the right, and I got an adaptive headlight warning. So I'm going to take that out and take a look. So the adaptive headlight module has corrosion on it, the one that came with that headlight. As soon as I put in the one for my old headlight, it aimed itself perfectly. All right, so here it is all put back together. Looks really good, black on black. A little more aggressive, more of a sinister look, I guess you could say. All right, guys, so if you have an E90 and you want to black out your headlights, now you know what's involved to get inside there. You'd be painting that intersection and potentially installing LED rings. If this is the first video you're catching of mine, consider subscribing. I do upload regularly. Thanks for watching. Wow.